morning. We are joined by NYPD Transit Chief Michael Kemper with more insight on subway safety overall. So Chief Kemper, good to see you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here this morning. This was a wild manhunt, right? So many folks were worried about this, started on the trains, filtered into communities. What can you tell us this morning about overall the investigation and how you were able to catch this guy so quickly?
Yeah, so we had a series of 6 stabbing incidents that occurred, 5 of them in Queens, 1 of them in Brooklyn. This started last Monday. 4 of them occurred yesterday. Obviously, extremely concerned we were. Plans were put together consisting of transit police, patrol services, and detectives. We executed those plans, and through really good detective work yesterday, I'm happy to sit here and tell you that a suspect is in custody and is under arrest and facing some serious charges, including multiple counts of attempted murder.
Yeah.
And what would you attribute that to then, that teamwork, or do you think more needs to be done? And I know as a commuter that I would like to see more police officers.
Yeah, so let me say this, there were 6 stabbing incidents. 1 of those 6 occurred on the subway. Yeah. And that was yesterday afternoon. So 5 of them occurred in Queens, the southern portion of Queens, in and around Jamaica on the street. But what does it say? It just shows that, detectives, our cops, the NYPD, there's nothing we can't accomplish. We joined forces, put our minds together, worked together, and grabbed this guy. And thankfully, great job done by the detectives.
Yeah, usually level 3 mobilization, right? Flooding the subways, the streets with officers.
Yeah.
But when you have incidents like this, right? And we had the incident on the subway over the weekend, that shooting on the train.
Yep.
It's once again putting into the spotlight. While crime may be down overall, these incidents are high profile and they bring back safety concerns to so many New Yorkers. It's commuting hours right now.
Yeah.
What can people expect as they head out the door and go to the train station? You're going to keep that level of security up today because everybody might be have a little heightened alarm.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're very mindful of the fact that these incidents weigh very heavily on our riders' minds. And as we sit here right now, uniform presence is increased in the subway systems. Our riders are going to see an increase of cops at turnstile areas, platforms, riding the trains. So listen, public safety is our top priority, and our cops are, committed to providing public safety. That I can say with certainty.
Yeah, over the summer you introduced K5,
yeah,
the room out in Times Square. How much has that been utilized?
Well, we utilized K5. He was in Times Square, and it offered us another level of eyes and ears for us. And it was a big hit with our communities. You'd be surprised how many people came to the station just to see K5 and take pictures with him. But, leveraging technology is a big part of what we do. And, even with drone technology right now and video surveillance, it's a big part of what we do. And it's really a big part of policing. It's the future.
Yeah, I mean, technology certainly plays a factor into it, right? That's the day and age that we are in right now.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about overall subway safety, right? Because we're talking about these high-profile incidents, but I always ask about the perception versus reality, right? And the perception of the subways aren't safe. You have a tall task ahead of you to change the minds of New Yorkers to realize that they may be safe in the subway. So how do you go about doing that?
So Dan Hazel, let's go to 2023. Out of all crime that occurred in New York City, 100% of crime, if I were to ask you what percentage of crime occurred in the subway system, the usual answers and responses I get is 20%, 40%, 50%. Well, here's the facts. 1.8% of all crime in the city occurs in the subway system. And that's the problem, because you tell people that and they're taken aback. And that goes to perception and fear. And perception and fear is real to so many people, and that's our challenge. Yeah. And it's what they see on the news. Incidents like this certainly don't help, but they are rare. It's not indicative of what goes on every day in the subway system. And truth be told, sometimes when they go into the stations or ride the trains, it's what they see: acts of lawlessness, fare evasion, open fare evasion, people acting disorderly. So that's our challenge, and we're hyper-focused on those quality of life issues.
So how do you go about it?
Yeah, so listen, uniform presence. In and around the subway. Nothing better than our riders love to see cops in the subway system, and then being proactive, engaging acts of lawlessness head on.
Yeah.
The fare evaders, the people smoking in the subway system. These are the acts, the disorderly acts that weigh heavily on our riders' minds that they want us to respond to and react to, and we are in great numbers. Our cops have really stepped up.
And now that the mayor has lifted the hiring freeze, do you anticipate that there will be more officers in the subway system?
Yeah, I mean, there are more officers, right now than versus prior years. I mean, you know, we talk about it all the time. You know, our personnel in the Transit Bureau is supplemented with officers on overtime and officers from other bureaus that help out, if you will, and are assigned to the subway system. Look, this administration, the mayor, the police commissioner has been clear. We're still clear. Public safety is our top priority, and that includes the subway system.
Yeah, and you look at the totality, right? There's the stabbings and the shootings, the high-profile ones, but then there are other incidents, the fare evasions like you talk about, and then there's subway surfing, too, which is a real issue in the city, and really among youth, too. Some teenagers have died because of it, and so you're implementing new technology there, right, using drones to help stop that. So how are you kind of going in that route? Because that is also a safety issue.
Absolutely, and it's a big concern of ours. Subway surfing is a phenomenon that, you know, kids, 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds are partaking in. It's fueled by social media. Social media clout, social media attention. They video themselves, they put it up on social media. These are young, impressionable, immature kids that are not thinking of the tragic consequences associated with it. And, you know, unfortunately, 5 teenagers died just in 2023. We just had a 14-year-old last week die while subway surfing. So we're, you know, approaching that and handling that through enforcement and a lot of outreach, working with different agencies, City Hall, Department of Education, and the MTA.
All right, Transit Chief Kemper, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us this morning. We always appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Come back soon, all right?
Yes.